Alabama, Auburn fans may argue that. We'll get to that later. But how can we not start this night any different? Michigan, Ohio State. I mean, that right there is enough. But the fact that the Big Ten championship spot was on the line, the playoffs was on the line, everything to play for, the game, no Jim Harbaugh, and Michigan finds a way to do it again. Jackson, I'll let you start on this one. What did you think of this?
I'll be honest, with watching this game, I asked myself, are people going to be way too hard on Ryan Day if Ohio State loses? And if Michigan wins, should we really start asking ourselves, is Sharon Moore the next Ryan Day? Will he be the head coach in waiting at Michigan? Because, this isn't, one of those cupcake games they got. This is the game. The game with everything all on the marbles. The division, the conference, playoff spot, shot at the natty, everything. And Harbaugh's not there. As for Ryan Day, after Ohio State lost, it was pretty sad for him. And I know there's people that compare him to John Cooper, but he's nowhere near John Cooper. John Cooper's record was it was meh. But Ryan Day, he's up there with like Jim Harbaugh and Dabo Swinney, because people tend to forget that Dabo Swinney had a losing record against South Carolina, especially from 2008 to 2014. He could not quite get it done against Steve Spurrier, except for the first time and last time he went against him. And some of the past coaches in our college football, particularly Eric Persigi at Notre Dame, he couldn't get it done against USC when he was head coach at Notre Dame, with the exception of 1965, 66, and 73. And 1965 was the only year of those 3 years where beating USC did not equal a national championship. So all those that say Ryan Day's bad coach or horrible coach or he's got to go, look at some of our past coaches in all college football and look at some of our current coaches in college football. That's all I've got to say on this. But I will say congratulations to the Michigan football team. And as for the Ohio State team, good luck. You're not out of the playoff race. We will explain as to how Ohio State is still in the playoff race later on in the show.
Very well said, Jackson. I must say, give a quick thoughts on this. I mean, this lived up to the billing. I mean, Ohio State, Michigan, nothing better. Big noon kickoff, the game, everything was riding on it. And both these teams were evenly matched. This was not, it wasn't like the last 2 years where it was a runaway when Michigan pulled away late in the end the last 2 years. This year, Ohio State and Michigan fought to the very end. And, a lot of people give Kyle McCord crap. He played a heck of a game. He did what he was supposed to do. And that pick at the end of the game, it was not on him because his arm did get hit as he let that go. Most quarterbacks, you hit them in the arm good enough, when they release that ball, it's going to the other team. I give credit to Michigan's defense for finally getting pressure, getting home, making it where McCord was not comfortable late in the game. But I will say, though, Ohio State almost went down again like they did in South Bend. Now, the interesting thing about this, Jackson, I don't know if you saw or the people watching at home saw this, but that catch that was ruled a fumble, I do not know if the receiver had full possession of it or not. It was awful close. I'm glad that they kept it the way they were and just called it a fumble. But honestly, that was very, very close. What'd you think of that, Jackson? would you have called that a catch and fumble, or would you call it incomplete? What were you thinking when you seen that?
Tell you the truth, I thought that was incomplete. I didn't even think that was a fumble.
Yeah, it's one of those things. McCord put a nice ball on him, so to speak. Put it right in the numbers, and it was one of those things. It was like it was hard to tell if he established his 3 steps, as they always say. Did he establish 3 steps? That's one of those calls that may go down in history that may have changed the game completely. Maybe. But Michigan still got the turnover anyway. But Jackson, if I was to tell you Kyle McCord had 56 seconds, no timeouts, down 6, what would you be telling me?
I'd have been like, he better get this right. He better be throwing to Marvin Harrison Jr.
I mean, do you think we would have seen flashes of the Notre Dame drive if he would have pulled it out? Do you think people would have been comparing those two? Like, was this one the better one, or was this the better one?
I think if he had made a game-winning drive against Michigan today, I think they would have been saying this is better than the Notre Dame drive.
That's fair. I mean, but obviously Michigan's defense came through. Now the question is, Jackson, Michigan has a date with the Iowa Hawkeyes next Saturday for the Big Ten championship.
Oh yeah.
And the question will be, can Michigan not throw the baby out with the bathwater, as you say, good buddy, and not let the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Iowa Hawkeyes, beat them? Because let's be honest, I give Iowa a lot of flack, and I know you have in the past too, but Iowa's got a defense. And if they could slow Michigan's run game down, it could be a long day in Indy for them. But we'll get to Iowa in a minute. But as for this, congratulations, Michigan. Looking forward to see if you could complete it. And Ohio State, you're not out of it yet. But Jackson, we would be remiss if we did not talk about the team that almost ruined